Hey everyone, it's wonderful to connect with you this week. Just wanted to share some insights as to our next sermon series that we're starting. We've wrapped up 1st and 2nd and 3rd John, and thankful to Terry Diener for finishing us off so well, and thankful to Kent Miller, who also filled in while I was gone for a bit, and the messages that they brought and the heart that they brought. Just wanted to share, some thoughts into what we're jumping into next. We're going to jump into a series called The Lord's Prayer. So, as the title says, you probably know that we're going to be jumping into the world of prayer, and specifically looking at the prayer that Jesus taught the disciples as they noticed, as they observed Jesus when he prayed, that he prayed in a little bit different way than what they were used to seeing, what they saw from church leaders in the temples and the way that they heard other people pray. Jesus prayed a little bit different. And so we're going to jump into this series, and this has been a series that has really changed my life. This prayer is one that's really changed my life. As the beginning of this prayer specifically, it invites us into living in, putting our mind in, our thoughts in, our purpose in the will of God, and helping God's kingdom come to earth as it is in heaven. And so as we jump into this, like this whole beginning of this prayer, it sets the tune, it sets the tone for praying with different purpose for what we're asking for. And I often, my prayers are often centered around what I want, what I desire, what I need when I'm in need, when someone I know is hurting, lifting, and those prayers all have its purpose and its time. But when we spend time regularly praying through the pattern of the Lord's Prayer, and when we start with this idea of God's will for our prayer, for our life, then it changes our purpose for the whole rest of our prayer time. And so when we regularly incorporate this in our life, it will change our perspectives on anything that this world might bring us. And it's so exciting, and it may be even a little bit scary as to the definition, the redefining of what our purpose is for life. But it's very clear in God's purpose all through the Gospels. Jesus and the apostles and the writers of the New Testament, they lay it out very intentionally and very purposefully that our purpose is to help God's kingdom come to earth as it is in heaven. And the way we do that is by living in God's will, by praying through, inviting God's will and God's purpose for our lives. And so when we start our prayer, when we start our prayer time, our days, or end our day with this thought in mind: God, your will come, your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven, then we get to be part of that solution, of the method that God uses to bring his kingdom down. And we get to help this world right now get a glimpse of what heaven looks like, even right now on earth. And so we get to be a part of that, and it changes our perspective on anything and everything, little issues or major issues, God's will for it. And it changes our perspective and our purpose as we move forward and engage whatever it is the world might bring us. So I hope you'll join me on this adventure as we seek God's will for our lives, and as we jump into his purpose of helping his kingdom come to earth as it is in heaven. Be well, my friends.